Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, The Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, beautiful people. How is it? It's Thursday or Thursday. How about that? Let's see who's in with us this morning thus far. Good morning, Latasha. She's getting back on her groove, y'all. She used to be the first. Her and my cousin Diane used to be the first in. So Latasha, all the way from Georgia, says, good morning, family. Give yourself and others a smile. Miss Brenda says, great everything and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Big Mike, good morning, everyone. Getting ready to meet one of my clients, teammates, he says. Let me get Brandon in here. For a fitness session, then going to the grocery store to pick up a few things for the football games today. So good luck on that, Big Mike, and have a wonderful day. How is it, B? How are you rocking on this Thursday?
Rocking good, rocking good.
Rocking good,
Sleeping, was sleeping great, tired, sore from training.
Yeah.
Super sore from training, but good. Blessed to be here. How you doing, Mama?
All right. Well, good. I'm good. How was your yesterday?
It was good. It was rough. It was tough. I won't say rough, but it was a hard training day. Probably my hardest training day I've had. So it was a lot. There was a lot of sparring, a lot of Shark Tanks. So you know, a Shark Tank is when you get a new person. I had a new person every minute for 25 minutes.
Okay.
Fighting for 25 minutes straight.
Did tell us about that. Tell the people you are preparing for a fight in next month, right?
Yep, preparing for a fight September 21st in Tampa, Florida. If anybody's near Tampa, Florida, or if you want to go to Tampa, Florida, let me know. I have tickets right here. So if y'all want to come to Tampa, they did give me some for people that want to go on my side, even though I'm flying down and everything like that. So I got a couple people in Tampa that are going that I know, and then maybe 7-8 people, maybe more from Memphis that are coming down. So y'all let me know if you want to come, or if not, if you want to watch it on TV or pay-per-view or whatever, I can give you guys the link for that. So I can give you that, Mom, and we can share it with everybody. But yeah, it'll be September 21st. So I went to the gym like 2-3 times yesterday, in the morning and in the night, and it was tough. And then plus it was 100 degrees, yesterday, and we do not have the AC. We don't have a central AC. So if it's 100 degrees out there, it's 115, 120 in the gym. Yeah, it was it's pools of sweat. So I probably lost at least 8 pounds training in each session. So I would lose the weight all from sweating, from fighting, then would go rehydrate as best as I could. Still made time to go pick up my son after training. Picked up my son, went to Home Depot with him, went to Tractor Supply store, got some chicken food, let him walk around and play with the tools and all that stuff. And he wanted to, he wanted to see everything. Oh, he loves it. He loves
tools. Y'all remember he's the one that said, we had him at the horse farm. He and some more kids as well. And Grandma, I don't want to see no horses. I want to mow the lawn. Yeah, I just thought that was so funny. He saw the lawnmower and everything, and I don't want to see no horses, and that's how he was talking. Like, I don't want to see these horses.
And you know what's funny? That's the exact section that we were in. It was a lawnmower and weeder section, and That's the first thing he spotted when we went in the Home Depot. He said, "Lawnmower, look at
Mhm.
that lawnmower." And I was like, "Look at all the ones up there." He was like, "Oh, what?" So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's jump into it. I had a day yesterday. It was interesting, but um, rewarding. I mean, it's it was challenging. I'll say that. It's a lot, just a lot going on, but
Hmm.
I found so much joy. And I was talking to Jimmy about this last night in what it brought about, what it brought out of me. Again,
Hmm.
um, it showed me some things that I need to improve, you know, on. And so I almost posted, I actually typed it up last night, like, I think I finally got it. Like, and I'll share it later in a different way. But yeah, it was challenging, but it's one of those things like we talk about, you have to, yeah, we have to go through things in order to grow. I believe most times that is the only way that we will hear God's direction for us, if we're truly seeking it. Especially me with my stubborn self. I mean, really, I'll be talking to God like, man, when I see you, when I'm man, because I'm just, when I get there, I got so many questions for you, and he probably like, what? Like, because I would have did this so different. And sometimes I'm like, I know that's why I did it different. You would have messed this up worse than you think it is. So I had a good day. I'm gonna claim that, got something really well to share with Brandon and Mike. Got bought about a person again. I was allowed to see a person again, and it was interesting because the timing of it. And so I know again that God is saying this is something that you need to resolve, heal from.
Mm.
You need to make the connection so that you and your brother can heal,
I
right?
already know.
And so it was and the day was like that, kind of all day. It was just interesting. But seek ye first the kingdom of God, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you will know God's perfect will for you. And God's perfect will for us heals us. It open us up in a way, man, unless you've gotten open that way and you're being open that way and you know it. I can't explain it. I can't. But just to see God orchestrate your life in the way it needs to be orchestrated, and know that you couldn't have did it. Like, there's no way. All the things that happened before that led me right in the spot for this person to walk through the door and look at me, and I look at them and like, I know you, right? So, and then to process that, it's almost like I saw the camera go backwards again. Like I saw my life, our life go backwards again. You start to replay all the things that led to was a great part of your brokenness, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's time, as Brandon says, no matter what season you're in, it's time. And so I took that as a sign from God, is that is a part of your life that you still need to heal from. And so we'll just have to make a way. We'll just have to make a way. So
Hmm.
to do that. So it's interesting.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm surprised you didn't call me after that happening, because I already know what happened. I can sense it from you, but or at least I think I can. I'll verify after the show. But I'm surprised you didn't call me.
Well, it wasn't the person that I think you guys think I'm talking about. It wasn't the person that was
Hmm.
the cause of a lot of my brother and our pain. but it was someone that is connected to him. And this would be the second time. Oh God, I shouldn't have did this. This will be the second time that I've seen her, and and all that stuff came back. And I almost wanted to ask her the question, did you know? Did you know all this was going on? Because if you did and you stood by and did nothing, then I blame you too. But I didn't, wasn't the place. But I will. And I feel like I have to. There's a part of my life that I need to cross, deal with, so that I can let it go and move on. So I'm thankful for that. So, y'all. Okay.
No, it's all good. You heal what you reveal, right? So thanks for being so open and transparent about stuff. As much as appropriate for this platform. But
Yeah.
you know, afterward we'll deal with it at some point today, or however you wanna do it. I do have to get off air around 7:30 ish.
Yeah. I would like to as well.
If that's cool with y'all. And so let's keep it sweet. Sweeter than sweet and short. Not short and sweet, but sweet and short. So the sweetness first. But thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate you, and thank you again, Mom, for being so open with us, and always, you know, wearing your heart on your sleeve and your soul on your face. So thank you so much.
So,
We love you. We love you. I'm sure I can speak for everybody. If y'all love y'all some Tammy, man, y'all let us know in the comments. Let's see. Do we have Instagram up and going?
probably not. Oh Lord.
No,
Oh,
it's all
Brandon, I'm
good.
so sorry.
Oh, take your time.
I probably have messed this up because I don't know when you sent it. I didn't mean to get caught up like that, but
Nah,
y'all,
you're fine. You're fine.
it is what it is. I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm purging.
It is not no
Yeah,
biggie. They'll be all right.
they coming just in time for the food, right?
Right.
It's coming off the grill. All right, I sent it to you.
All right. Thank you, sweetie. We'll give them just a brief moment to catch up with us here. And once that's live, we will start the show. There we go. Looks like we're here. All right. So thank y'all for joining us again. Welcome to the In the Season podcast. Welcome to Instagram family. Thank y'all for catching up with us. If you are on the Instagram, you can move over to the YouTube in the mornings to get that little the little pre-shows that we do, the check-ins that we do with my mom and our YouTube and Facebook Live family. So thank y'all for joining us all today. Today is August the 29th. And before we jump into the reading, I need to let y'all know what we're reading, especially for the new people. There are some people that this may be their first time watching. Some people that see this video on YouTube aren't able to watch it live, or haven't watched it live, and weren't in that right place at the right time. But the right place and the right time is right now for them, and that right now is different than the right now that we're experiencing. So I have to let them know what we're doing. We are reading through Daily Motivations, a book called Daily Motivations for African American Success. This is how it looks. It's a book by Dennis Kimbro. You have to don't mind mine being all tethered up. It's in part from it being old, and another part from me leaving the room while a parrot was in here and him biting it all up. I love that parrot too, by the way. Me and that parrot are two peas in a pod now. But Daily Motivations for African American Success by a Black author named Dennis Kimbro. And this book will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals, and 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, who's also the author of the popular book Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and how to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches will last you a lifetime. So, y'all, we meet here every single morning at 7 a.m. sharp. So, if you can, go to the YouTube channel, type in this season podcast. In this season podcast, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you can, turn on those notifications and share it with someone else. We use these moments every single morning to motivate each other, to inspire each other. I offer my insights. My mother offers her insights on one of the passages, one of the daily passages. And we get that inspirational quote. We get the affirmation at the end, and we try to break it down and give you something to carry with you throughout the day and something to share with others. I always tell people, I won't say always, but when it comes up, I tell people always bring someone some good news, even in the midst of even in the midst of a bad day or a rainy day. When you see someone, always give them a bit of good news. If there might be bad news there, there may be something that you all need to discuss. But if you can, always have something in your in your front pocket. I won't say back pocket. Keep the bad news in your back pocket. Keep the good news in your front pocket. Make sure you spread those good tidings, those glad tidings, right? Before you spread the bad. Oftentimes when we see each other, the things that stick out the most to us are the negative things. They are the things that that hurt or harm or surprising or that we can't believe, the shock value. That's what keeps us coming back sometimes for entertainment, right? They've studied this, that the more shocking, the more outlandish something is, the more people seem to come back to it, right? But if you can, always make sure that you are a light in that darkness. If people are addicted to darkness, be the candle, because it just takes a small flame to light an entire dark room, right? Mom's got her coffee there. I got mine. Make sure you have yours. And we are going to help wake you up with some joy, with some light on this day. Is it cloudy out? Looks like it might be a little. Is it cloudy? I don't know. It was hot yesterday. It was super hot yesterday. So, but y'all, thank y'all for joining us. Let's jump right into it. Like I said, we only got a few more minutes here. So today is August the 29th, and our reading is titled Cliff Notes. Cliff Notes. Y'all know what Cliff Notes is, right? Did y'all use Cliff Notes? Mom said, did I? So did I in school. I did all the little synopsises. It was like book report. I would many times read part of the book and all of the Cliff Notes. But and our quote today comes from Nelson. We were talking about him yesterday.
Yeah. I saw when I put the quote out there, I was like, Brandon was talking about him yesterday.
That happens to me all the time, Mama.
Yeah.
All the time. I'll be talking about something and it pop up, or I'll be thinking about something and it pop up, or someone will be staring me dead in my face. And I'll be like, man, this is what, and they're like, man, that's exactly what I was just thinking. I just didn't want to say anything. So I don't know, God puts us together and connects us. But
orders our steps.
Yeah, but all the glory is to
glory.
God. It ain't nothing that I'm doing. I'm not no ESP or psychic or none of that stuff. Any good that comes from me, or any serendipitousness that comes from me is all glory to God. But Nelson Mandela delivers our quote today. And again, he is the South African human rights activist who notably was deemed a terrorist by the United States at one point. He said, I've got my faith, and that's all I need. I've got my faith, Nelson Mandela said, and that's all I need. Some people put their faith and trust in their wealth, others in their intellect, and even fewer in the Creator himself. There are people who say, I earned my wealth by working hard. which is true in a limited sense. But who gave them the ability to work hard and as a result live a life of comfort? Our Creator. Ultimately, we must call on Him for solutions to our problems. A tourist came too close to the edge of the Grand Canyon, lost his footing, and plunged over the side, struggling to grasp the cliff's edge to save himself. After he slipped out of sight of others, he managed to latch on to a thin bush, which he desperately held with both hands. Filled with terror, he called out towards the skies. Is there anyone up there? A calm, powerful voice came out of the sky. Yes, there is. The tourist pleaded, please, can you help me? The calm voice replied, yes, I can. What is your problem? I fell over the cliff and I'm dangling in space, holding onto a branch that is about to give out. Please, please help me. The voice from above said, I'll try. Do you believe? Yes, yes, I believe. Do you have faith? Yes, yes, I have strong faith, he said. The calm voice then said, well, in that case, simply let go of the branch and everything will turn out fine. There was a tense pause. Then the tourist yelled, is there anyone else up there? So we never know when or how our help will come. Sometimes we can help ourselves by just letting go of our problems. Our only duty is to have faith. And our inspiration and affirmation at the bottom of the page says, I have faith and trust to reach my goals. Again, I have faith and trust to reach my goals. Over to you, Mom. What do you think about this one?
Well,
Cliff notes. I get it. Cliff notes.
yeah, yeah,
Hanging off the cliff.
right. Very simple here, you guys. I've got my faith, and that's all I need. Easy to say, easy to say, but when we hear the voice, yes, I can. What is your problem, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then we get down, and he says, that small voice says, the calm voice then said, well, in that case, simply let go of the branch and everything will turn out fine. What's your branch? What kind of tree is your branch coming from? Yeah, did I say that right? Your branch, where is it coming from? Are you willing? Because, just like I was saying earlier, I've carried the weight. I realized, especially after talking about it again, because I felt like I was fine yesterday. Like, okay, I'm ready to do this. But to process it. So God is telling me to let go. It's time for you to let go of this, right? To let it go. Free you, not this person. Free yourself, right? So when we hear that voice, he said, okay. So we asked, do you believe? Yes. Do you have faith? What's the difference between belief and faith? Right? It says here faith involves reliance and trust. So I would have to trust God to let go of that branch. Like, you want me to let go? Do you know where did you hear where what my problem is? Did you hear? Do you know what all the things that I've gone through? Do you know what will happen if I let go of this branch? Do you know
Mm-hmm.
that's a long ways down? And God says, it's a long ways up and I'll bring you up. Just let go. But if I'm trying to bring you up and you still want to hold on, see, I want to catch you, not just in the palm of my hand, but I want you to land right in the center. of my hands, in the center of my hands, and I will bring you up. So faith involves reliance and trust, and it endures in the face of doubts, because I have a lot of them, right, from this situation. Whereas belief is simply something we take to be true, right? And there's a difference. There's a difference.
Hmm.
Is we could say, all right, this is true, but my God, but God, right? This situation looks, I don't know, like it'll never go away, right? Because as I tell you guys all the time, right? And now I gotta preach it to myself.
Hmm.
The trauma happens because we keep living it. We keep having it alive, right? And so if I had buried this thing, if I had let it go, if I had let this branch go back to the pit of hell where it came from, right? And allowed God to catch me, right? But it's time. It's time. I got to read them clip notes because I need some extra. I need some extra help with this test, right? So that I can make that 100. Well done. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Leave this here. Leave all that here, right? So let go of your branch today. I have the faith and trust to reach my goals, because to have the faith, you got to have the trust. Faith involves reliance and trust, it says here, and it endures. It endures. It endures, y'all. In the face of any doubt that you have about anything, any situation that you're going through now, but before childhood, we talked about that inner child. Have faith that God can and will. Let go of that branch. What is your branch? Right? What is it? What are you holding on to? And that calm voice says to you every day, well, in that case, you believe, right? You trust, right? You got that faith. Well, in that case, just let go. Simply let go.
Hmm.
Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mama. You're such a beautiful woman. Such a beautiful woman. Inside and out. I'm gonna
I'm
put that
having
put that.
trouble. So go.
I'm gonna put that light on you, baby. Y'all, if you missed the beginning of the show and you weren't on YouTube, my mother opened up a bit about some stuff about someone that she saw that kind of re exposed some childhood trauma that she had dealt with, and it wasn't that person in particular, but someone very close and connected to that person, and so God has put her in a position where she now has to filter that again, and what better time than now, uh, now you can look back and help the Tammy of old, or of young, I guess it would be in this case, and help her heal. And in many situations, y'all, we have those childhood traumas, right? We have those situations, or even not childhood, it could be have been an adult. And in many cases, the years just go on, right? The years go on, time passes by, um, but the heart and the soul still longs for some kind of healing, some type of closure, some type of acceptance, some type of letting go, so and then in the story here of the man who was a tourist at the edge of the Grand Canyon, I don't know if y'all have been there, but I mean it's a huge. Have you been to the Grand Canyon, Mom?
No, but I'm thinking about you hanging over the cliff. Remember that
Oh
day?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that picture and I'm like, oh, but yeah, I remember that's what I think about when I don't know. Brandon, I wish I could find that picture and share it with
I
everybody.
think I have it somewhere.
Yeah, because I thought, what is he doing? One slip, and I don't know what your high was off of that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he
mean,
was just. Yeah, I don't get it. As a mother, that would imagine if you saw Tupac or Zali doing that. See, see, see. It's different. See, it's different when you are in the seat. Like it's different when you are in the seat. Because as a
Yeah.
mother, you want me to be okay with things that you'd be like, if you don't get. So,
But yeah,
um,
man. So I've been to the Grand Canyon. It is
yeah,
absolutely beautiful, breathtaking, and it's amazing to see how big it is. I mean, it's huge. I mean, you literally cannot imagine how big this crack in the earth is, right? I think it's 9,000, 10,000 plus feet to the bottom. Thousand, guys, thousand. Um, and so in the story here, this man was hanging. He had slipped. A tourist lost his footing and fell off of the edge of the Grand Canyon. And after he had passed the visibility of the people above, he was holding on by a bush and called out to the skies and said, "Is there anyone there?" And a voice came back and said, "Yes, I'm here. What do you need?" And he said, I need help. I'm hanging off the edge of a cliff on this bush that's about to give,
mm,
help me, help me. And he said, "Okay, I'll try. Do you have faith? Do you believe?" He said, "Yes, yes, I do." And then the voice said, "Let go, then let go, and I will make sure that everything works out fine." And the man said, "Is there anyone else up there?"
I don't
Right?
want to let go.
I don't want to let go. And so, in many cases, guys, we might have trauma, we might have situations, we might have relationships, we might have occupations, right, that we need to let go of. But we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of the results. We're afraid that we cannot control the results. But if you could control it, then why are you reaching out anyway? Why are you even asking if you were in a position to where you could control it yourself, you would not need to reach out. But let me tell you guys something that I've discovered. In the moments where you think that you are too high and mighty, in the moments where you think, I got this, I got control of my life, anything that happens in my life, I can handle, right? I don't, and it's even hard for me to say this, but I don't need anyone else, or I don't need anyone else, right? God will put you in a position to where I don't care if you atheist, I don't care if you Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, whatever it is, you will be put in a position where you have to call on a higher power. Even the atheist, when 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 it hits the fan, they'll say, "Oh my God." They'll say, "Oh my God, look at this." Right? I mean, even a car crash could happen in front of them, not even involving them. And I've seen stuff like this happen. And the atheist will be, "Oh my God." And I'm as surprised by them saying that and I know it's a colloquialism. I know it's a saying. I know it's a thing that is just easily said, but there's something the Muslims call it in Arabic, fitra. Fitra means a natural inclination. There's a natural inclination in every single human being that they did not create themselves. That there is something, a higher power beyond themselves, that is an intelligence that is leading or in a ceaseless creation of the next moment and of the and in supreme control and omnipresence, right? It's the connection that you make when you look someone in their eyes and you realize that they're more than their flesh. It's the it's the sensibilities that you have on things that you've never been told, right? It's the serendipitousness of a situation where coincidence doesn't fit the description. It's the mercy that you receive every single day in seeing the sunrise, or how things just somehow work out, right? of no merit or effort of your own, right? In a position where you thought it wasn't going to work out, but it did miraculously. Miraculous, that the root word of miraculous is miracle, right? And we don't create miracles, but every single one of us is a miracle. The chances of us as individuals being here or just being alive is 4+ trillion, in one. There's more of a chance of you hitting the lottery 100 times in your life than there was of a chance of you being born. And look at you. Look at the mirror. Look at your hand, right? Your hand, not just hand, your hand. Who is that you that possesses this body? And if you are more than your flesh, and I'm sure that you know you are, then you must know that there's something greater than yourself that put what is greater than your flesh inside of you. And in those situations when you can't call on anyone but the one, I think we are the most alive. I think we are the most vulnerable. And I think we have the most potential for growth and correction and purification of our hearts. So don't miss those moments. And don't trivialize those moments of hardship. Don't trivialize those moments of having your back against the wall and coming out on the other side. There's a story in the Quran, a brief story, where it speaks about a people on a ship. It gives an analogy or a parable of a people on a ship on waters. And the waters become very turbulent, and the storm seems as if it's going to knock the boat over. And they plead and call out to God, oh, if you would only save us from this and calm these waters. And in the mercy of God, the waters are calmed. And then as soon as those waters are calmed, they forget that mercy and go back to their ways. How many of us will be in a bad position and call out to God, plead to God, is there anyone up there, right? And once, let's say the man let go. Let's say he did let go, right? Let's say he did listen in that moment, only to become, to be saved, in a sense, to use some spiritual terms that we all might know. And then a day or two later, to go back to the edge of the Grand Canyon and tiptoe on the edge and play around, right? To be in the same situation as before, or to forget the mercy that God bestowed upon him. And I'm speaking to myself first, y'all, because it's very easy to become distracted by the mercy, to be distracted by a delusion of safety, right? At any moment, we could not be here. At any moment, right? So to forget the blessings and the mercy and the provision that God had blessed you with in those times of struggle, where he put you in a position where he was the only one that you could call on. And you called on him and he answered. How easy we forget the next day, 2 days, a week later. And in those moments, you'll often find you repeat those lessons. You go right back to it. Now imagine this man finding himself in the same place days later, hanging off the edge of a cliff, maybe on a different bush. And he's calling back out. But one thing about God, he's always going to answer. Always. It might not be the way that you want it. It might not be in a loud voice that you hear with your ears. You may not see the burning bush. You might be holding on to the bush and about to fall, right? And it may seem silent to you. It may seem like God isn't answering, but God is answering it in some way. And he's either giving you what you want or desire, or he's withholding it from you in order to protect you or to lead you or to grow you or to shape you and mold you in a way that better glorifies him. See, it was never really about you. It was never really about you. There was a greater purpose in your situation and in your circumstance. And sometimes we're so selfish, y'all, to where we think it's about us. And our prayers are structured in a way as if God is a vending machine. We put prayers in and we expect something in particular out. You ever notice when you were a kid and you see the little gumball machine or the toy machine, and you're like, ooh, I want that one. You put your little 25 cents in, you twist it, and maybe you're lucky and you get that one thing in there that you wanted. But in most cases, you get something different, right? Don't be the child this is metaphorically and allegorical. Don't be the child that complains about what just came out of that machine. Don't be that,
Wow, Brandon.
Don't be that. Don't be that child. Be the child that says, "Thank you. This is cool. This is a nice surprise. I couldn't control what came out anyway. My job was only to put my faith in, to give God a good loan. I don't know how much he's going to give me back. Even if he doesn't give me anything back, there's nothing I could do to repay God for the blessing of life and the mercy that surrounds us all, because God's mercy surrounds and encapsulates all of creation. The fact that you can breathe is a mercy from God. The fact that you're comfortable right now is a mercy from God. The fact that there's an atmosphere on the earth that protects you from the sun, that creates oxygen, from the waters, is a mercy to you, right? You know how many celestial bodies and planets and things that don't have an atmosphere? Let me tell you guys this, and I'm gonna leave it at this. If the earth were an inch or 2 inches to the left or the right of its orbit, we would freeze. And on the other side, we would burn. It would be uninhabitable. But we are perfectly set on a course to where we can exist, right? So there's mercy, and these mercies surround us whether we believe or not, whether we have faith or not. So no matter what you do, God's mercy is so great to where you have a part of it and you are beneficiary to it, even if you don't have faith, because the word of it's by God's word, right? It's by his nature, to where if you were to take God's word is like an ocean, to where if you were to take from it, if you were to take a part of it, you would not decrease it. And if you were to try to add to it, you would not increase it. Right? And so your prayers don't benefit God. He doesn't need our prayers. We need his mercy. And surely God's mercy is greater than God's wrath. So no matter what path you've been on, no matter what cliff you've fallen off of, no matter, how long you've just been holding on, God's mercy is still available to you if you would but believe and have faith. And after that, know that faith without deeds is dead, right? So after these moments of hanging off of the cliffs, make sure that you take those notes with you on the next test. So when you're hanging off of the cliff and God saves you, take those notes and make sure you pass the next test, the test of life. Don't lose those notes. Don't forget that. Don't take these. Don't take the test of life with a grain of salt. Okay. This is a serious endeavor. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and this is not the real life. This is not. It's the hereafter that is the eternal life. Okay. And so I'll just leave you all with that. When you're coming off of that cliff, take those notes with you to the next juncture of life.
So, Brandon, I'll be quick here, you guys.
Oh,
Thank you,
yes,
Brandon.
Lord. Mm-hmm.
So it says here, after he slipped out of sight of the others, he managed, I'm going to say, you managed to latch on to a thin bush. So, is there anyone up there? The man called out. A calm, powerful voice came out of the sky. Yes, there is. The tourist, or you, pleaded. Please, can you help me? The calm voice replied, yes, I can. What is your problem? Do you hear God asking, but he already knows, but he wants you to answer. What is your problem? Call it out to me. Not that he doesn't know, but he asks the question, what is your problem? Do you know what it is? Right? And the guy knew, the tourist knew, I fell over the cliff, and maybe we've fallen over and we will fall again, right? And I'm dangling in this life. It says space in this life, just holding on to a branch, God. And I'm adding some words here that is about to give out. I'm holding on to a life that is about to give out. Please help me. The voice from above says, I'll try. So it's like, I'm going to try, knowing that God is saying, I'll try. God knows that he can, right? But he tells you, I'll try before asking, do you believe? You say, yes, I believe. God says, do you have faith? You say, yes, yes, I have strong faith, strong faith. But when that calm voice says, well, in that case, simply let go of the life you've been holding on to. It says branch, and everything will turn out fine. Let go of the problem. Because he asked, yes, I can. What's the problem? Right? We never know when or how our help will come. Sometimes we can help ourselves by just letting go of our problem. Our only duty is to have faith. What is faith? And God says, count it all joy when I'm testing you, when I'm pruning you, right? Count it all joy. Count your problems as joy today. Let go. God has asked you, what is the problem? So I'm asking you, tell him what the problem is, right? Brandon, when you were talking about the vending machines, the little machines for the kids or adults sometimes as well, I thought about Zali, your baby girl, how sweet she is, y'all. She begged for some change, and I had to find it. You know, we were getting some food, and there was two little machines in there. Got her the money. She put the money in. It seemed like it might have been her first time, Brandon. She was so excited. She got this beautiful little ring out, and she opened it and she looked at it and she said, "Grandma, this is for you. Y'all know I will cherish this ring forever and a day." But that's how she is, and it made me think about um, two things. Abraham, right, being asked to offer his son Isaac as a burnt offering, right? Right. The day we hear our voice, the day we hear God's voice, right? Also about being called to a higher power. What does that mean? Called to a higher power. I looked that up here and it says a spirit or being such as God that has greater power, strength, knowledge, and it says etc. I'll name a few. I would say patience, right? Faith, right? And that can affect nature and the lives of people. Our calling, right? You're called to let go of that branch. You're called to let go of that life, this life that you've been holding on to. You are called to let go so that you can be called and you can honor that higher power that you've been called for and to. You can't do that unless you're in the will of God. Notice how many things we have had here. I will support my own, including people, businesses, and so forth.
Oh,
There's so
the
many.
affirmations.
I will continue to struggle. I will continue to struggle and press forward. I will. I will to be in God's will for my life. I will answer this call to a higher power. We can't serve a high God and walk little. We can't. We can't serve a high God and hold on to that branch. So seeing this person yesterday, timely and godly, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to tell y'all how bad this situation was for me at one time. I literally found out where this person went to church some years ago. And I went on a mission to confront him right in front of the congregation. That's how bad it was, right? I went to God's house, right? To try to take care of this thing myself. And I was ready, right? I kept asking, is this person here? And they would say, people would tell me, yes, he's over there. I would go over there. He wasn't there. Somebody, and they, yes, he's here. I'd ask again. I asked maybe 3, 4 times. Don't y'all know that I know God hid him? I know this for a fact. Could not ever get to him. That was so out of order. Now I'm at the place I don't want to confront you, embarrass you. I want to forgive you. I want to forgive you. Right? So, y'all, let go. Let go. Tell God what the problem is. Let it go and walk away. Let it go and walk away. What is your problem is what I want to leave you guys with. That's my question. What is your problem?
Let it go.
Let it go.
Well, all right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. It has been a beautiful conversation. Thank y'all for coming to the cookout, as we say, on the In the Season podcast on day 211. Right? 211. Thank y'all for being here and letting us be a part of your morning routine. So as you go about your day, remember this story and carry it with you. Share it with someone else. And inspire someone to come here tomorrow. Let's see if we can get another person. Who's the person in your life that needs this the most? I'm not going to ask you to share it with 5 people or 10 people or 2 people. I'm going to say one person. See if you can get one person here. You know, they say each one teach one. If we all do our job, we'll all be all right, right? So let's get one more person here from your camp to this 7 a.m. conversation, right? Tomorrow or the next day, just make it your focus to get one more person. Yes, ma'am.
Can I say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we have a duty and a responsibility as adults to children, men to your sisters, to not stand back and be a spectator, right? Because someone could have stepped in. A man could have stepped in, should have stepped in. So if you see it and you don't call it out and you don't stop it, you're as guilty.
Can I share? I wanted to share a hadith with you, and I may have shared this before, and we're gonna really get at it because I was supposed to be gone 25 minutes ago. But it says that if you see an injustice, this is one of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who is a descendant of Abraham on the side of Ishmael. whereas Jesus is a descendant of Abraham through Ishaq or Isaac and Jacob. But Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if you see an injustice, stop it with your hand. And if you cannot stop it with your hand, not if you will not, if you cannot stop it with your hand, speak out against it. And if you cannot speak out against it, then hate it, fervorously hate it inside of your heart. But know that this, meaning hating it in your heart, is the weakest form of faith. That's the weakest form of faith. It's just to hate it in your heart, but you can see it right there, right? So if you can, stop it with your hand, no matter what it costs of you. Stop it with your hands. And I'm specifically speaking to men, because we are the protectors and providers. So with that being said, y'all, what do you need to let go of, and what do you need to grab a hold of? Are you falling off of a cliff right now? Reach your hand out and grab that, whatever you can, that bush, right? And from there, call out to God, and whatever God gives you or instructs you to do it with full faith, no matter the outcome. You can't control the outcome, even if you tried, right? So that's a lost zero-sum game. Let go, have faith, and let God be God. All right. Love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow on the End of Season podcast. Like, subscribe, and share this channel to a friend. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Peace.